1 minute. Hi everyone, Hi everyone, how are you all doing? I almost went on there without turning the mic on. Okay, apologies for that. The reason that took a little bit longer there is because I'm actually using new streaming software for this live stream. So yeah, the quality should be better. I'm thinking it should be 1080p this time, the live stream. So you guys let me know if the quality goes up to 1080p. But it should be better. At least I'm hoping it will. If not, I'll try to fix that. But yeah, the quality looks the same, says Sonic. Movie Fan says it looks fantastic. Time Shadow's been looking forward to this stream. That's good. Everyone seems to say it looks fine. Fine and clean. Okay, let's me go up to 720, says the Time Shadow. Okay, I'll try to look into that. Oh, hi, the G Gamer. Great to see all of you in here, all in the chat. This new software also tells me how much of you are in the chat, except this time it seems like there's a bit of a delay compared to the actual YouTube page, which seems to show more people, like, you know, instantly. Whew, so yeah, we've got some new fun little tricks that I've sprinkled in the live stream now, thanks to this new software that I'm using, so hopefully we'll be able to see it. To answer Movie Fan's question, says Eric, are you going to do a Beetlejuice versus video in October? That's the plan. The plan is to get a versus video of Beetlejuice up. So yeah, great to see you, Big Bash, Classic Brickman, Robin, Khan, Knowledge is Power, Movie Fan 2002, Fireboy, Joshman55, the G Gamer, JWK, the Time Shadow. Where's my buddy? Where is he? King of the Monsters 2021. Oh, there he is. Yeah, it says, yo, Eric. And then he goes, when you're making the announcement, waiting for more people to come on the stream, then I'll make it. Right now, I'm just saying hello to everyone. Ethan's Drawings, great to see you as well, buddy. Crazy Cat Lady, Jacinda. Classic Brickman. Rohan, great to see you here as well. Jess, Daniel, Caleb. Yeah, the Time Shadow, there is an announcement coming. Yes, King of the Mon says it's Streamlabs. In fact, that is the the live stream software that I am using to actually stream this live stream. So this is the first live stream with Streamlabs, which is meant to be a more fun live streaming software, and it's more sophisticated too. So Don't worry, I'll explain what those little fun little bits will be. You'll see them very soon as well, actually. Yeah, King of the Monsters, can you help Jess over there, who's in the chat, asking how to send pictures over using Streamlabs? Because you've been sending links over through that, and that's the only way I accept images coming through. So if you could tell Jess about that, I think that will be very appreciative, because he's been asking me on my Patreon, and I don't know how you do it. So, and I've got a lot of other things to focus on right now, so I wasn't able to answer that for him. The Logman says, "Hey Eric, I started rewatching Death Note. I'm on episode 8, and currently it's great. It really is, isn't it? Trust me when I say it keeps getting better. Death Note is like one of the only shows that you can just keep watching. It's like a very binge-watchable show. There's a lot of binge-watchable shows, but eventually you feel tired. Death Note, as soon as it ends, you want to see what comes next. So it's so cool how that happens. How am I coming in, by the way? Is the audio coming in loud and clear? Because with the previous software, I had to up it about 7 decibels, but this one seems to be going into the red at 0 decibels. So it seems like at lower volume settings, I seem to be coming in louder than I was in my old editing software. The audio is great, loud and clear. Yes, it's loud and clear. That's fantastic then. That's great to hear. Cosmic Studio says, "Eric, awesome to see you again. School's been a pain. So sorry I've not been able to make the last few streams." That's okay. It's great to see you here now, so that's all good. There you go, Jess. King of the Monsters has told you how to do it. That's thanks very much for that, buddy. I appreciate you helping another fellow chat member out. So let's see. There's 48 of you. Says 46 right here. Eric, how's your day been? Says Big Bash. It's been good, but very exhausting because I've had to take a break from doing a lot of the script writing and video editing that I'm up to, so I could prepare this new live stream because this is the first time I'm using this software. So yeah, it's kind of new, and to get everything the way I wanted it, to see this Patreon members text and all the text on this side of the screen, and to get the story segments in place, I had to do that all from scratch, more or less. So it was a bit tricky to kind of get back into my usual setup with new software. That's always a bit of a process. Big Bash, the stream started 7 minutes ago, so that's good. I get some extra bits of information here where I can tell you guys these things, which is cool. Stream title and description. See, there's new things here. In a web browser and go to live dashboard. That's all cool. There's more tools at my disposal. Now, anyone who donates, I'm going to tell you right now, anyone who donates, because I'm using Streamlabs as a software, donate with the link that's in the description or that's pinned on the chat. And you'll see why, because if you donate, I think any amount, let me double check. If you donate $5 up, you're going to get a little sprinkle of some visual flair. That's all I'll say. And you'll see what I mean. It doesn't happen through YouTube Super Chat, so don't try it through Super Chat. Do it through Streamlabs Chat, and you'll see there's a little $5 or up. You'll see there's going to be a little interesting little visual. Don't worry, King of the Monsters. You don't have to. We'll explain your little announcements in a bit. You're gonna get something big. Don't worry for those of you that can't do it. Don't. I'm not trying to force. I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying if you're going to, at that point, because like I said, I'm still editing, so hopefully I'll be able to get a little surprise to happen with $1 as well. But I'm just saying, if you do it $5 or up, there's going to be a cool little thing that happens, and this will be the first time we'll be trying it out. So, yeah. But do it once we get to the stories. You don't have to do it right now. Okay. Let's see here. Let me just copy this and paste it over here. Okay. That's okay, King of the Monsters. We'll get to saying that in a second. Let me just see. I can hear a bit of an echo. Is my voice coming in? It is coming in somehow. I don't know. Spectacular Spider-Man. I actually like that show, buddy. Hang on, do you guys see this? Your comments are actually showing on the screen now, so that's one little visual flair that I've brought in. Yeah, I did, yes, I did, buddy. I did, see the new teaser for Wolfman. And I know it's the same guy that directed, Invisible Man, but I need to see another trailer, so I'm not going to react to that one because there's not really much to react to. It looks kind of cheap, but maybe it's a style he's going for, but we have to see more footage. You know what? I'm going to remove the chat box from here because I don't like it on this particular side of the stream, I think. Okay. The Dark Lord, that is quite alright. We haven't started yet, so that's why I'm waiting for more people to come in. Alright then, so, before we move forward, everyone, time to make an announcement. Now, me and King of the Monsters, don't worry King of the Monsters, this stream will stay up. Usually people tend to come in when we start discussing the stories. Alright, so, now before we start discussing stuff, King of the Monsters 2021 did a commission over on Patreon. And the commission he did, which you'll see right now, is... He did, let's get this up. He did a commission for a quick movie review. And yep, he basically did a $200 commission to get a quick movie review of this, a Godzilla movie. Now, bear with me, this is a long-ass title. Let me read this out. Because this is quite a... I can't read it through that text. It's too small. That's 2001. There we go. Now, this movie is called Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All-Out Attack. As far as titles go, that is one of the best titles I've ever heard. Look at this, just so much words. It keeps going on and on. And I think I have seen clips from this movie. Was it on YouTube or something? Charlton, you've not missed anything. This is the first thing we're talking about. We're talking about how King of the Monsters 2021 has done a commission for a quick movie review, which is of this movie, Godzilla. So yeah, I'm looking at all your reactions. You all seem to like that. You're saying, like, Trevor is like, ooh, good choice. King of the Monsters says you can just call it GMK for short. No worries. On the stream I will. In the review that I do for you, I will be using that whole name the whole time. So, yeah, everyone. Basically, that's what he's done. He's commissioned a quick movie review for this Godzilla movie. Yes, King of the Monsters 2021, really, I will be saying the whole name during that review. I love that title. Spirit here says, that'll be a long video then. If it makes the video too long, I won't do it that many times, but I will be using that title as much as I can, just so I can say it, because I love that name. Alright then, so, yeah, that's what King of the Monsters did, but King of the Monsters didn't stop there. He also commissioned another quick movie review, and the one he commissioned was this. The Passion of the Christ. I like how JWK is like, wait, what? Like, what the mother bleep is that? Like, people are saying that people are surprised, King of the Monsters, that you commissioned another one. Dave, crazy indeed, but that's what he did. A lot of Sonic's like, huh? Yep, Fireboy, yep, everyone's kind of in surprise of that. But yeah, he wanted, King of the Monsters wanted to do another quick movie review, and he chose The Passion of the Christ. Now, this is a movie that I heard of ever since I was a kid, but when it came out, I was 8 or 9 years old, so I wasn't able to see it. And because of that, it's just taken too long, to the point that now I've just not seen it at all. I feel like I was fine just hearing what other people said about it, but ultimately I was like, you know what, it's not something I need to rush to see. If anything, there are many other things I need to see. But, well, now I guess I'm going to review it. And it'll be a review that I do in the first few months of 2025. By the end of this year, I'll be reviewing Godzilla, and then in the first few months of next year, I'll be reviewing The Passion of the Christ. So, yeah. Dave says 2025? Yes, that's the release date that King of the Monsters prefers, because that's going to align with a certain date. He can tell you better than I can. He'll tell you if you're curious. Yeah, and that's what Joshman says. He's actually requesting to do the R-rated Passion of the Christ. He sure is. And the interesting thing is that I've not seen it. Josh says Passion of the Christ is too violent, even for me. That's the thing. I know it's meant to be very violent, but I've not seen it, so I'm not sure just how violent. Plus, it was violent for the time, but would it be considered violent for now? I wonder, because we've seen a lot of violent stuff since then. We've seen a lot of Saw movies since then, because when this came out, this was the same year the first Saw movie came out. So the bloody genre, you know, in horror, kind of followed after that. So yeah, I wonder. So yeah, those are going to be 2 quick movie reviews that I'm going to be doing based on the commission of King of the Monsters 2021. So yeah, you've all got him to thank if these are 2 movies that interested you and you wanted to know my opinions on. And by the way, I am getting closer to finishing the Puss in Boots versus video. The script is almost completely done. Once it's done, then I'll start getting into editing and everything. And that's 3 versus videos I'm working on right now. So the Batman Cape Crusader versus Batman the Animated Series is being done. And that's nearly finished, close to being finished. Puss in Boots is nearly finished writing. And then Beetlejuice 1 versus Beetlejuice 2. So I have got my work cut out for me. Not to mention, I've still got Patreon videos that I'll be giving you. And I've also got YouTube membership videos. In fact, before I did the stream, I actually did my Minecraft trailer reaction, which is up on my Patreon and on my YouTube memberships. So if you want to gain access to those, you can. Dave says, what takes longer between script writing and editing? It's usually... script writing and editing, they both take their time. But I will say, script writing takes the longest. Because that's basically the whole video. So once I'm satisfied with the script, then I record it. And then editing doesn't take as long, but it can take long if copyright stuff gets in the way. And Puss in Boots 2 is a Universal movie. It was made by DreamWorks, and they are very picky when it comes to copyright claims, so it'll probably be a bit trickier to get that done, purely because of that. And King of the Monster says, don't forget the G-Gamers Megamind 2 video. Lol, I haven't. I am going to be doing that as well. So, yeah, very, very busy, as you can tell. Ooh. Jess says, King of the Monsters 2021, Commissioner Versus video with Transformers 2007 and Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Jess, what is with you in that comparison? You're still sending me memes of myself where it seems like you're trying to put in your kind of aggravated thoughts as to what I think of Transformers, why I think Planet of the Apes is better. I'm telling you, buddy, to me it is better, so if that's just my opinion on it, but if you like Transformers better, that's also great, so don't need to get so passionate over that. It's a silly comparison to make anyway. So, yeah. Don't worry, King of the Monsters, you don't have to do that one. Yeah, passionate, I chose that word. The Dark Lord says, after Stan and Kenny from South Park called Passion of the Christ a bad film, I don't want to see it. Honestly, I did see that episode a long time ago. I did think it was a bit out of sorts for them to paint Mel Gibson in that light. This is before, I think, we heard about his phone calls and things. It did seem to me like, I don't know what movement it kind of caused, Passion of the Christ at the time, but it did seem like they were trying to come from the Jewish perspective that, who cares? Like, you know, they're saying things are different now, but are things different now? If you look at what's going on in Palestine and stuff, and you see what happens, it's like, some stuff in history remains the same, as sad as it is. So that felt more like they were trying to do their own hit piece on him, because they didn't like what the movie was saying. But then again, I've not seen the movie, and I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know what the movie was saying. I need to see it and find out. Let's see. King of the Monster says, Eric, what intrigues you about each of these movies the most? Well, the Godzilla 2001 movie, what intrigues me the most is just... can the movie live up to that title? That is an action-packed title. It's jam-packed. Like, if you remember Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn, long title, didn't really get that from the film. So that's one title that went on too long. Another one was Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. That sounded so awesome, but in the end, the only Multiverse of Madness we got was that the traffic lights were reversed, and that pizzas are now done in pizza balls. That's it. That was as bloody pathetic. That was as far as we went in terms of Multiverse of Madness. So I'm hoping this movie can live up to its title. That's a great title, and I hope the movie can live up to it. Yeah, sure, Thinking the Monster, if you want to give a minor spoiler, go ahead. And The Passion of the Christ, I'm just curious what the whole thing is about. Like, you know, this is a movie that I remember back in the day made waves. I want to know why. People even said it was super violent. I want to know if that still is true to this day. Hi, Jake. How have you been, bud? Really appreciate you dropping by. Let's see. Jake, you're not too late. We're just talking about a commission that King of the Monsters 2021 did. He commissioned 2 quick movie reviews, and these are the 2 that he commissioned. Robin says it is very violent. Okay, let's see. I'm very curious to see just how. Khan is like, Jake, the man himself, returned. Has returned, rather. Time Shadow is like, the Jake is back. The Jake is loose. Yeah. Alright then, so, big thanks to King of the Monsters for commissioning these 2 videos. King of the Monster says, King Ghidorah is the good guy in Giant Monsters All Out Attack. That sounds like a bigger spoiler than a minor spoiler, but you've seen the movie, so I guess we'll see. This is established, actually, in the first act. Oh, is it? Okay, then, see. Jake says, I'm getting Patreon soon. That's great, Jake. I'm glad that you can gain access to the content that I've got there, because I got a lot of trailer reactions, I've got a lot of Let's Watches, and I've got a game show there too, so hopefully you enjoy... Sorry, just dropped the lid. Hopefully you enjoy all the content I have there coming up. The Time Shadow says, Jake certainly has built up a name for himself on this channel. He sure has. I don't know, what... By the way, Jake, I don't need to ask loans from you no more, says King of the Monsters. Did you ever ask Jake for loans? Jake's has somehow returned. And by the way, just to mention to the people that have just joined the stream, I'm using new software to stream this live stream, so let me know what you think of the quality. And if you donate, use the link that's in the chat or in the description to donate through Streamlabs, because that way there'll be a cool little effect, a new effect that I've got on screen that you'll see. So anyone who's doing any donations, do it through Streamlabs so we can see that, so you can see those animations. That will be really cool. And also, YouTube don't take a cut at all from any of your donations through Streamlabs, so all through that. So, Big Bash says, so how will we spam you now, Eric? What do you mean? How will you spam me? Dave says, why are YouTube such thieves with their donations? I don't know, but they take like 30%, so... Streamlabs takes 0%. All of your donations go to me, but YouTube, for some reason, take 30% from donations, which is irritating. So that's why I always say use Streamlabs, because there is no percentages they take whatsoever. Oh, Big Bash, you still can do that if you want to. This hasn't changed. You can do the YouTube super chats if you want to. That's entirely your choice. I'm just saying. What was that? Jake says, yeah, it's a horrible day to have eyes. Oh, are you talking about the Minecraft trailer? I reacted to that about a couple hours before I set this stream up, so it's on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships if you want to see my reaction to it. So, yeah. Okay, so... Is everyone... Oh, and by the way... This will be staying up the whole time, but... There you go. King of the Monsters 2021. He's earned his name on here, so for this whole opening section, and now for the whole end section, the Q&A section, when we go back to this screen, King of the Monsters' name will forever be in this stream for what he is, for his generosity and for his donation and his commission. So, thank you very much, King of the Monsters 2021 for that. I really appreciate it. So, yeah. Congratulations. With that said, let's move on to our next story. Now, before we do, let me just get these off here. Alright, is everyone ready? Okay, so here is... King of the Monster, no. The G-Gamer, I don't know. I think he did. I can't remember. If he didn't, I'll announce it. I did announce it, actually. I did announce it. I can't remember if I put his name there. If I didn't, I'll have that fixed. But, yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I like how all of you guys are happy. Finally, we can start. And everything everyone is saying. That's good. I hope you enjoy the stream as we talk about it. Now, what you see right here is the tip jar. So, anytime you donate through Streamlabs, there'll be another animation that goes on right around here in the bottom right corner. This is what you call a tip jar. Oh, you can't read the text? Okay, then. Let me just disable the chat box for now, because it is a bit cramped here. So we'll try to fix that later. Okay, so let's talk about it then. So, Joker, Folie à Deux, or however you pronounce the French language. Basically, this movie got, just like the first Joker, was premiered, or debuted, let's say debuted. It debuted and made its first screening at a Venice Film Festival, which is meant to be a very prestigious film festival. And if you get very good reviews there, apparently the Oscars and the Academy Awards all pay attention to that kind of thing. So this is a very prestigious kind of like event. And when the first Joker actually got put up there... Ooh, let me get rid of these for a second. My notes, here we are. When the first Joker got put up there, apparently it won the top prize called the Golden Lion. And it came in at 89%, so that's how many people enjoyed it. After that, the rest of the critics trashed it as being a nasty, violent film that only the incels and bigots would like. It was that ridiculous thing that went on. It was really pathetic. They tried to make themselves seem like one-up the trolls, but then they did something which was so trollish and was just quite gross. And then the media felt like they wanted to rouse up some kind of crime, because they kept saying this movie's going to cause someone to do a crime, and it's like they were trying to get someone or provoke someone who's some lone wolf out there who thinks, you know what, I've been biding my time to do something, but now this seems to be a better time than ever, because when I do it, I can blame it on Joker. It felt like they wanted something to happen, so then they could report on it and say, see, this movie is evil. When really, they were evil, the media outlets. So that was gross, that was sick, that was twisted, and that was disgusting. So keep it in mind that when I say that the score from Rotten Tomatoes was a rotten one, keep in mind, this is not the critics that trashed the first Joker. These are the critics that were at the Venice Film Festival that liked the first Joker. They liked the first Joker. It got an 89% review score overall from them, and remember, it won the top prize, the Golden Lion. So when you hear that, with that in mind, when the Venice Film Festival critics have given this a rotten score, that is rather fascinating. Now, is it going to change my opinion on the movie? It's not. I still want to see it for myself and know, what this movie's like. But, on the other side, it does kind of concern me, because I've heard some stuff from the reviews, and I'm actually going to read those to you. Not the reviews, but I'm going to give you brief snippets of what I've heard, because I've tried not to review so much stuff. Now, also keep in mind that since that rotten score, the score has gone up now to 61%, so it's out of the rotten score. It was in 59% first, which apparently is the lowest, the lowest score you need in order to get into the rotten score. So that's what basically happened. So, yep, let me bring up my notes here and we'll talk about it. Now, Now, a big thing that I'm hearing from all the reviews, and bear in mind, I was trying not to read too many because I didn't want to get any potential spoilers. Now, apparently the movie is a response around the controversy of the first film. More specifically, the people who watched and idolized the Joker, like the media called out, and this movie is essentially condemning those people for liking Arthur Fleck and saying that he is, and the movie's basically telling them that no, he is the bad guy. Now, people are saying that as a bad thing, but to me, I was like, from one perspective, I think it's fine, because for those of us that watched the movie and we all knew that Arthur was in the wrong. So yeah, if you're going to say that he's the bad guy in this one, yeah, no shit, he was the bad guy. He did turn, especially in the end, he turned out to be the bad guy. And we're going to be shown in this movie, which is what I wanted to see, which is I wanted to see him lean more into being the bad guy this time round. So that sounds fine to me. Now, on the other hand, this could come across as patronizing, you know, when you're insulting the audience's intelligence. Meaning that it's accusing viewers that, no, you didn't get the first movie, you thought he was good, no, Joker was the bad guy in the first movie, so now we're going to explain it to you like you're stupid as to what made him the bad guy. And that, I think, is potentially where some of the criticism seem to be coming from. Because it doesn't seem like people are insulting the movie for reinstating that he's the bad guy. People seem to not like the movie for how it insultingly tells us that he's the bad guy, as if we're stupid or something. I think that is what people are annoyed by. So, and the reason, and like I said, that could be patronizing. And the reason I say it could be patronizing is because the people who watched the movie have said that by the end. The people who did understand the first movie and still liked it might feel offended by the end of this film. So that's what I've heard, and I've heard people say they really don't like the ending, whatever the ending is. Let's hope it doesn't suck. And this is going off... Now, like I said, this is going off some of the reviews that I have read, and I didn't want to read all of them in case of spoilers. But I'm hoping that this movie just progresses Arthur as the Joker, or another version of the Joker. I hope it doesn't try to waggle its finger at the audience. That is not something that I want to see. The first movie treated audiences with respect. It didn't treat them like they were stupid. But this new one, from what I've heard people say, this new Joker movie, Joker 2, it seems to treat people like they are stupid. So that is something that actually concerns me. Another thing that I've heard about this movie is that it's boring. Apparently there's only 2 places that the movie switches back and forth between, and that is the Arkham Asylum and the court case, the courtroom. Those are the 2 locations it seems to constantly switch back and forth between, which is kind of bizarre because I feel like I've seen in the trailer there were a lot of shots of, you know, other areas. We also saw those that Arthur running away from one guy and another guy that looked like Joker, you know? That's what I've seen in the trailer, so I'm wondering, how can it really be just based around 2 locations? And yeah, like I said, so one thing people say is that the movie is boring, apparently. And another thing is that Lady Gaga is not in the movie as much as the marketing says, which is a relief to me, because I want her to be in there, but I still wanted this to be Joker's movie. I didn't want her to hijack it, and this, one of my concerns looking at the trailer, because there's a lot of scenes that she has that seems to be copying what Arthur did in the first movie, like her going in the elevator and all that kind of stuff, and her going like this to him. And there's even some shots where she's dancing down those stairs that he did in the first movie. To me, it seemed very much like they were trying to copy and give Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn a copy and paste thing of what Joker had in the first one. And I didn't want that. I didn't want it just to seem like, okay, we're just redoing all of that. So if she's in it, not as much as Joker, to me, that is A-okay. That's how it should be. She can be the Robin in the movie, like Joker's Robin. But she can't be the main character. That still has to be Arthur. That's what I wanted to see. So to me, they're saying that she's not in it as much as the marketing says. To me, that's great. I'm actually happy with that, because I think they've given a lot of other characters far much more to do than the title character, especially when it comes to the male lead in these movies. Like, if you remember Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, they said it was a Doctor Strange movie, but ultimately he was really just there as a tag-along. Even Benedict Cumberbatch said that on interviews. He goes, I'm just there to take you where you need to go, or something. He said something in an interview where basically people are catching on. Benedict Cumberbatch is not happy with his character arc, is he? Apparently they did reshoots to make it a bit better, because apparently originally it was all about that girl that punches multiverse portals. America Ferrera, was it? Or am I getting that wrong? Is that an actress's name? I can't remember. Who cares about that character? America Chavez, that was it, King of the Monsters. Thank you. Apparently even Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, basically, in the original one, before they did the reshoots, she was apparently mean to him, and the movie was too much about her. And Doctor Strange, even for Marvel standards, thought that he was too much of a tag-along and didn't really have anything, like any character arc. So they gave him the whole question, are you happy? Which was still very weak, but it was clearly a reshoots kind of thing. So that's basically what they tried to do in that. And I feel like Thor: Love and Thunder was a lot about Jane as well. So there's a lot of things that they're doing where they're taking the male character, even though the male character's in the title, they seem to be trying to give the female character more screen time, like it's their movie. So I like how Joker 2 is not doing that. So some people I could imagine would get annoyed and say, how come Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn is not the main character? For me, I am A-okay. I am happy with the fact that Joker is still the main character and she's the secondary character. So for me, that is good. That is something I was hoping, and I hope the movie sticks through with that in a good way when I get there and see the film. So yeah, this is still my number one most anticipated movie of the year. But yeah, those are basically the things that I've heard about this. It's boring. They thought it was too long. Oh yeah, MovieFan2002 says, don't forget the Knuckles show focusing Wade. I think, and thank you MovieFan for the $2 super chat. I think the real reason that Wade was the main character in that is because they couldn't afford Knuckles. He would have been too expensive to keep him in the show too much, so that's why they did that. So that one was more understandable. But for big budget movies where you can put the male character in the lead but they don't, that's a different one right there. Jake says, do you think he'll abuse Harley in this movie? I hope so. I hope it gets there like that, because that is an interesting part of their dynamic, and I would like to see it in live action, because we've not seen it in that. JWK, we're talking about the Joker storyline, and also the fact that King of the Monsters 2021 has commissioned 2 quick movie reviews over on my Patreon. That's what we talked about, and now we're talking about the lackluster reception for Joker. So yeah, that is ultimately what I have heard about this movie. What I've heard that I didn't look too much into it because I didn't want any spoilers. So yeah. Jake says, without context, that could sound bad. Lol, yeah. Well, thankfully you guys know the context. That is part of Harley and Joker's twisted relationship. And I want to see a twisted relationship in this movie. I don't want to see another rom-com, full-on romance like what we got in the first Suicide Squad movie. Joshman says, would you consider doing a versus video on Joker 2 and Joker 1? Yes, I would. That is something I am intending, but let's try to get these versus videos that I'm doing right now finished first, because there are a lot to do. Trevor Bistro says, I hope the composer who did the music in the first movie is returning for this movie. That they must be. She must be that composer. Let me take a look. Let me see. Hilda, that was her name. King of the Monsters says, yeah, she's coming back. That's great. Yep, she is coming back, so that's great. It would be stupid if she didn't. She won an Oscar for the music, so... And it was fantastic music. So, yeah. Jake, I think all the characters were slightly reinvented in the Season 4 of the animated series. Joker's redesign was like Mickey Mouse. It wasn't particularly good. That's why they reverted it back in Return of the Joker. But I don't know. He became he became equally as heartless, I think. But they did try to go a bit edgier with that season 4, I remember. So yeah, maybe he was a bit more heartless. So yeah, that is ultimately what I think about this. I think I'm still interested, but I will say my excitement has gone down a bit, and I'm a little bit concerned. But I expect Todd Phillips to know better, though. I hope he's not just purely reacting to what the critics and everyone said. I mean, make the movie for the people that enjoyed the movie and supported it. I hope he doesn't try to, I hope he doesn't try to change it and just try to appeal to the people that were insulting him. That would be stupid. Jess, why would you say something so weird? Jess says, in my opinion, I'm worried that this film will be like the 50 Shades trilogies with its romance and sex. What makes you even think that? That is one of the most, outlandish comparisons I have heard. That is weird. Fireboy says, I hope Joker 2 should be darker than the first one. I think it might be more violent than the first one, but I don't think it will be darker than the first one. The reason I say that is because the first one was all about just Arthur Fleck, and the feeling of isolation around him was very dark. With Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn, I don't know, it feels like from what I've seen in the trailer, there can be more disturbing scenes, but it seems like there's a lot more of the two getting along, at least from what I can see. We'll have to wait and see, but I don't know if it can be darker. I think it's going to be a bit more chirpier from Arthur's point of view, because he's got someone on his side, so... Yeah, Jake, actually you're right. He did hit Harley, didn't he, in that episode? That was a great episode, yeah. He did, but that was because she reached the peak, but then again, that's kind of the point. But yeah, probably, yeah. But yeah, I would say so, yeah, you're right. So what do you guys think? Let me ask you this. The fact that the fact that this has gotten not-so-good critics' reviews from the Venice Film Festival, the Venice critics, does that make you more excited for the film, equally excited, or less excited? Spirit Hero says, Eric, here is my prediction. The ending will be revealed that the whole movie was in Arthur's mind, making the whole thing lead up to nothing. If they do that, that'll be stupid. MovieFan2002 says, reviews don't really change my mind on seeing the movie or not. Yeah, don't worry about the typing, Jake, it's okay. So yeah, do you guys still gonna be watching this movie, or do you think that the reviews have actually, brought your excitement down? Let me know what you think. Let's see. I'm still confident with going into this movie with a clear mind, says Charleston. That's good. Me too. I'm a little bit, concerned because of what I've heard. But at the same time, I want to give it the benefit of a doubt. I want to see for myself what I think of it. Big Bash says, I'll still watch. Selena says, what did you think of the Young Justice Joker? That was a terrible Joker. Really awful. Someone even said that at a panel to Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill, that the Joker in Young Justice was awful. Was terrible. Matthew Clubb says, whenever I see the Suicide Squad Joker, I think of an American Psycho when Christian Bale kills Jared Leto. Yeah, that is funny in retrospect. JWK says, I'm still looking forward to it, mainly because the first one is my all-time favorite movie. That's great. I'm still looking very much forward to it as well. Time Shadow, it's not about Rotten Tomatoes, it's about the Venice Film Festival critics, because remember, Rotten Tomatoes might give movies like Joker a lower score, but the Venice Film Festival critics, they always give higher score. They gave a higher score to Joker. They gave it, it was 89% it averaged out at. And Joker won the top prize, the Golden Lion. So the Venice Film Festival was very, very kind to Joker. And these reviews are based on that, quite frankly. So the fact that it got a rotten score from them, who liked the first one, is a bit concerning. Shannon, I thought that Harley and Joker's relationship in the Telltales game was brilliant. It was very different, and at the beginning I was like, where are they going with this? But as it went along, it was really good what happened. It was really cool. Jacinda, I think Mark Hamill's response to that was when he was just talking about all the other versions of Joker, how they've all brought different things to it. He says he's not seen that one, I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah. I'm doing good, Parker. How about yourself? The Time Shadow says, I've never watched Batman the Animated Series. Is it good? Should I try it? Yeah, definitely try it. Give it a watch. It should be on Netflix. At least it is in the UK. It was a show that definitely was greater at the time than it is now, because now I do think it has some pacing issues, but back then that was like top TV for kids, certainly. Yeah, Spirit Hero says it's on Netflix here too, which is funny because David Zaslav has been, giving bits of DC around everywhere, hasn't he? So that's why it's even allowed to be on Netflix. I thought he was a Fireboy. I thought he was a great Joker in the Telltale game. Reviews, I'm doing good. How are you, buddy? Great to see you join the stream. Big Bash says, I've seen Season 1 of Batman the Animated Series and it was awesome. Season 1 had like 65 episodes in it. Khan says, I'll still give Joker 2 a chance, but if it ends up disappointing me, I'll be really sad about it. Joshman's gotta go. See you later, Josh. Thanks for joining the stream. Kingdom says, a very good question, Kingdom. He says, do you think Joker 2 could get up to $1 billion? I don't think it can. I think with this kind of score, I think it won't. Also, the hype around Joker 2 is just not as high as it was with the first Joker. Where we saw the trailer, it looked like something so different, and it was so, like, interesting. And the performances were so good. And this looks great and interesting too, but it's not, the hype is not as high as it was. We'll have to see what happens. King of the Monsters 2021 says, side note, does the UK have an Independence Day type of holiday? I don't think it does. Or if it does, I don't celebrate it. Yeah, there was Selena controversy with the first Joker. Robin, is too hard to decide between the two. One's great, the best live-action Joker, the other's the greatest animated Joker. Jacinda says, do you think Joaquin Phoenix will snag another Oscar for his performance? I don't think he will, because what happened recently, Joaquin Phoenix has got himself into a bit of a controversy within the industry. Because, like I discussed in a recent stream, he left a project that he actually brought forth to the studio. It was a gay romance movie, I think, where he had to play a gay character, and there was some gay, love scenes going on in there. And apparently, even though he brought it to the studio and is producing it and everything, he's dropped out of it 5 days before they were about to shoot. The rumored reason is that he thought that the love scenes were too intense. But basically, 5 days before, you can't do that. Once you've done that, they have to let the crew go that they've hired and everything, and it's just something that you can't do. But he did it, and it doesn't look good within the studio when you do that, especially because some of the producers that are around that hear this news, they apparently also vote for actors to get Oscars. So I don't know if he will get an Oscar for Joker 2, but we'll have to see what happens. King of the Monsters, I have watched Independence Day. I watched it when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it since. Yeah, no point, Kingdom. It's a very good question. Fireboy says, I'm going to watch Joker too, but I'm going to keep it very low. I think he means his expectations very low. Robin says, do you think the Joker will be in the Batman Part 2 or 3? He'll definitely be in Part 2, and I think he'll definitely be in Part 3. Matt Reeves did say that, I don't know if it was Matt Reeves that said it, but someone did say that there'll be more of Joker in the second film. Khan says, just like Kratos always said, keep your expectations low and you'll never be disappointed. Khan, I have kept my expectations incredibly low, and things have still disappointed me. Spirit Hero, for me, last year, Anatomy of a Fall and The Zone of Interest were one of the best films. The Zone of Interest I have respect for, especially because of the director and what he said at the Academy. I think it was the Academy he said it, wasn't it? Logman says, which movie is better, Joker or The Batman? That's a very good question. Both very different movies, though. I'd probably say The Batman. Deadwolf says, which DC universe are you more looking forward to? The Batman universe or the DCU? Me, the Batman universe. For me, it's the Batman universe, without a doubt. I'm so looking forward to the Penguin, which apparently is coming out the same day as Agatha All Along. That is, I mean, that's going to be no competition. No one cares about Agatha, but everyone is curious about the Penguin show. So I'm so looking forward to seeing what they do. Logman's like, yikes. Big Bash is like, Agatha will bomb. Agatha is coming out with 2 episodes to debut. And yeah. Do you guys want to see me cover Agatha? Or do you because I'm going to cover definitely the Penguin. But do you want me to cover Agatha or not? Spirit here says, I want to see you trashing it. The Penguin, then Agatha. Agatha, actor, was mocking fans. Was she? If you like it. Don't worry, Jake. That's okay. I'm glad you're still here on the stream, though, regardless. They're like, no. Source Face is like, nah, F Agatha. Wow, the Time Shadow says, not gonna lie, I'm more interested in seeing Agatha All Along. I feel like it's gonna be more of the same of what we've gotten from these disposable MCU shows. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to it. He's saying, Time Shadow's like, nah, joke. I mean, it's fine if you want to, but yeah. It's just not something that I'm interested in, and it seems like a lot of people are not interested in. Dave says, cover Agatha and roast the F out of it. F Agatha, she trash, says Fireboy. It was not Agatha all along, says Sonic, which is exactly what I said in my reviews. Yeah, it was not Agatha all along. Jake says, speaking of the Penguin, I find it weird his redesign got rid of deformations despite being a part of his character. You mean in the Matt Reeves world? I think he did have deformations, like on his nose, on like one half of his face had more scars and stuff, like his nose had been like, you know, stitched up or whatever. And also he's got that weird wobble, so clearly he's had some kind of injury, so you know, he has it. I like the designs they've gone for. Big Bash says, I'll only watch you making fun of it. Okay, I'll have a look. I'll probably cover it in the same format that I do when I have the webcam in the corner, like what you're seeing now. I'll try to cover it in that format. It'll be quicker to film, and I'll still be able to work on my other videos, and I'll be able to give you my thoughts and opinions on it while I'm doing it. So maybe that's what I'll try to do. Planktoon, maybe one day, but it's not on my immediate list right now. I've got a ton of other stuff on the list. Okay, then. Fireboy says, I want you to get mad, like very mad at Agatha. I don't think I can get very mad at Agatha, to be honest with you. It just seems like such a waste of a show. Like, I have no expectations for it. Let's just say if they put someone in there, like, say, Mephisto or something, then I'd get annoyed, because everyone... There's some rumors coming around. I don't know if they're rumors or just some person who commented, but someone did say, what happens if Mephisto shows up? Like, and I was thinking, Could you imagine if they did? I heard Mephisto is going to show up in Ironheart, and he's going to be very goofy and silly. That's what I heard. Jigsaw says, have you seen the Minecraft movie trailer? It was so terrible and bad in the same time. Yes, I did see it. I did a trailer reaction of it just on my Patreon and my YouTube memberships just before I came here and did this stream. Spirit Hero says, has an Ironheart been cancelled? No, it hasn't. In fact, that recent, was it D23? Kevin Feige announced it there, and they had people come on there as well, so, yeah. Jake says, now that I have Patreon, Valley Girl is getting closer and closer. It sure is, bud. Although I will say, just to give you a tip, if you don't want any Patreon tax, contact me on Patreon and we'll work a way around that so you don't have to pay any extra for Patreon tax. Alright, bud? Make sure you keep that in mind, so I can save you a couple quid from that. That will be probably something that you might want. I just did that with King of the Monsters 2021, so yeah. So yeah, that's great. That's great though. That's great though, Jake. I'm glad that you'll finally have Patreon. We've been talking for a long time. I said if you want extra content and stuff, that's the way to do it. And the fact that you're on there, great. So yeah. Spirit Hero says, hasn't Ironheart... No, I already mentioned that. Yeah. King of the Monsters was Patreon, 8% on the big... They tax on the big commissions, I think it was. Was it 8%? The Time Shadow says, I keep rewatching your Lion King Versus video because it's entertaining. Watching YouTubers get mad at things they don't like. Yeah, I guess there is an audience for that kind of thing. Jacinda, no, Eric did not take offense to that, but Jess always thinks I do. I always tell him I don't. Are people still mad at Will Smith hitting Chris Rock? Well, first of all, Kevin, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. No, people don't seem to be as mad at him anymore. I think it's still on their mind, but I think it is old news at this point. They haven't forgotten it, but if you look at the performance... If you look at the performance at the box office of Bad Boys 4, which came out recently, it did very well. So it proves that Will Smith can still drive people in to watch movies of his. So I don't think they're that mad at him to the point that they're just not going to watch his films. That movie was the big test, and it worked. So yeah. Jake says, maybe Warner Brothers wants enough backlash so they can have Minecraft be another tax write-off. Heck, maybe the trailer isn't the real and the actual trailer would look amazing. I don't know, that would just be so stupid. It's like, since when does he care about, when does David Zaslav care about what people think with tax write-offs? If he wanted to tax write it off, he would have just tax write it off. Yeah, I've not seen Bad Boys 4 because I've not seen Bad Boys 3. And I didn't see Bad Boys 3 because I feel like I want to see Bad Boys 1 and 2 again, because I haven't seen those since I was so young. Like 12 or something. Jacinda says, what the F was up with Jason Momoa's wig in that Minecraft movie? I know. It was ridiculous. It was like, what's with the wig? Because Jason Momoa has already got long hair. Why'd you have to give him a wig? That was such a weird choice. The Time Shadow says, is Batman going to have anything to do with Joker 2, given how the first one ended? I doubt it. I don't think he's going to be in it at all. Fireboy says, thought Jack Black as Steve. Jake says, sorry, my internet is too shitty for me to continue today. That's okay, buddy. Thank you very much for joining the stream. I hope you can come around next time if you can't keep up with this one. But it was really nice having you here, Jake. So thank you very much for joining the stream. I really, really appreciate it. So take care, buddy. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them. That's interesting, King of the Monsters, that you thought his wardrobe was an homage to how random Minecraft skins. It's like Ready Player One, but photo real. Okay. Trevor Bistro says Joker or Oppenheimer Joker. The Time Shadow seems to be scared. He goes, oh man, no Sarah, and now Jake's gone. Who's going to make all the outlandish donations today? I don't know. We'll have to see. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. King of the Monster says, well what? Technically I did at the start of the stream. Yeah, you technically did, in a big way. Selena says, can we get into the next story? Alright then, time to get into the next story. Let me just get my notes up. Okay then. Okay, so we all know that James Gunn said that we're going to get a Lantern show on HBO called Lanterns. And in that show, we're going to have Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan both team up. We're going to have them both team up, and they're going to be like space cops on Earth. They're going to investigate, do some kind of detective investigation thing. And a bit of information came out recently about this. The information that came out was that Josh Brolin was rumored to have been offered the role of Hal Jordan in DCU's Lantern series. So that's rather fascinating, that is. And here's the picture of Josh Brolin. And when you look at the image that James Gunn gave us, the image he gave us, if you... Let's just remove these images. If you look at the image that he gave us with this right here, Hal Jordan did look older and he had a beard on him and everything. So it does make sense when you take that into consideration that he would actually hire Josh Brolin, because look at the image, it looks so much like him. So I think that he had this in mind the whole time, that he wanted an older Hal Jordan, because Josh Brolin is about 60, so that gives you an idea how old he's thinking with Hal Jordan here. And I think the reason he's doing that is because he wants... I think it's because he wants... Let me bring this up here. Here we go. I think it's because he wants Hal Jordan to be like the much older, experienced Green Lantern, and he wants Jon Stewart to be the rookie. So they're going to hire a younger actor to play Jon Stewart and an older actor to play Hal Jordan. And that basically means that in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if Hal Jordan dies in this show, maybe, and we are left with Jon Stewart, who will then join the Justice League or something. And I do prefer Jon Stewart as a Green Lantern. I watched the Justice League animated series when I was growing up, and he's always my favourite Green Lantern. In fact, I was surprised when there was a Hal Jordan, because I was thinking, where's Jon Stewart? So I'm glad they're bringing Jon Stewart in. But I would have liked it if they were both a similar age. That would have been interesting to see them both, both be Green Lanterns of a similar age. But yeah, it's going to be the older dude and the younger dude, so... And apparently in the comics, Hal Jordan has become evil at a point, and some people are saying that he could be evil here as well. So, it's interesting. We'll see what happens, but, yeah. What do you guys think? I think he's too old, Josh Brolin. I would have liked a middle-aged Hal Jordan, similar age to what Jon Stewart would be. But to make him that much older, that is just too much in my opinion. Trevor says, imagine Jeffrey Wright as Jon Stewart. Jeffrey Wright is too old to play Jon Stewart, and isn't he playing Gordon in The Batman? Plus, whoever they hire to play Jon Stewart, I want him to have a deep voice. Because the voice actor who played him in... the animated show had a very deep voice, and I feel like Jon Stewart needs a deep voice. I don't want a typical black man voice. I just realized that didn't sound very good. You know what I mean, though. I don't want a typical voice. I want him to sound like, have a very deep voice like the Green Lantern did in the Justice League animated series. King of the Monsters says, who are you eyeing for Jordon and Stewart? Well, for Jon Stewart, I want a new actor. I want a new actor, a new face. That's what I want. For Jon Stewart... for Hal Jordan, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I don't know, but I want someone who's middle-aged. The thing is, Josh Brolin is a good choice if you look at this bearded version of Hal Jordan that we see in this image here. But I still would want... someone more middle-aged and someone less known, because we also have other names here. Like, if you have a look here, in this part of the article, new Green Lantern rumor reveals potential DC actors if Josh Brolin passes. One of the people they're looking for is Matthew McConaughey, if he passes, or they're looking for Chris Pine as another one. And another person they're looking at, if Josh Brolin passes, is Ewan McGregor, Obi-Wan as Hal Jordan. Yeah, that's a straight up no to me. I think that sucks. That is a terrible choice. I think none of them are great choices, to be honest with you, but especially Ewan McGregor. That is just the worst choice. Deadwolf says, Pedro Pascal as Hal Jordan. No way, he's in too much stuff. No more Pedro Pascal. He's in enough things. Leave him in the franchise he's in, let him do those. We don't need to see him in any more stuff now. And yeah, Sonic, I would agree that Pedro Pascal, as great an actor as he is also overrated, I think. Out of those three, it would be Matthew McConaughey. Maybe. I think him and Josh Brolin are two good choices, based on this image that I'm looking at. Honestly, based on this image I'm looking at, I wouldn't be surprised if James Gunn has already talked to Josh Brolin, because it seems like he almost had him in mind, if you just look at the design of this guy, how much older he is and stuff. If not him, I feel like there could be another actor that looks like that. I feel like I've seen some actors that look like that, but they're just not coming to my mind right now. What do you guys think? Look at this Hal Jordan's face. This grown man with a beard. Who do you think could pull that off? Because I've seen actors that look like that. King of the Monsters says Keanu Reeves. That's potentially, but he's not a good actor enough for this. Matt Damon says Spirit Hero. That's also a good choice, him bearded up. But I don't know. I feel like I don't see his face in that. There's another actor that this looks like, but I just can't. It just doesn't. It's not coming to me. Jensen Ackles. That's another one, but still not quite. Sonic. Don't mess with me, man. He's saying Tom Holland. No way. There's no way. Look at Eric Winter for a sec. What is Eric Winter? An actor's name? Big Bash, don't you dare say Aquafina. Okay, Eric Winter seems to be this dude. My screen is too bright. There you go, this dude. I don't know. I see what you mean. That's actually a good choice, but still not quite. Nicolas Cage. Why would Sonic is like Gal Gadot. You are so funny sometimes, Sonic. And you also hurt me as well. How can you do both at the same time? Dave says, Sonic don't play. No, he doesn't. Channing Tatum says Charleston. I don't know, I guess we won't know. But his face really does remind me of an actor that I've seen before with a face like that. I don't know, it's so bizarre. Keegan-Michael Key, just no way. Jake Gyllenhaal. Andy Serkis. Coleman Domingo as Jon Stewart. I don't even know who that is. Nicholas Hoult. No, he's Lex Luthor. Apparently, I've heard somewhere as well that they've shot a scene of Lex Luthor while they were filming Superman, and that scene is going to be attached to Peacemaker Season 2. So that'll be interesting. Kevin says, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Says $2. $2 super chat says, thoughts and prayers go out to families from Georgia. What's happened in Georgia? Have I missed that bit of news? Planktoon Production says, how about Markiplier? Yeah, that would be... what am I saying yeah for? I don't even know what that is. I thought you were almost saying that Metropolis movie that's coming out. I thought almost... Why is that tip jar filling up when no one's donating? Do you see that? I just dropped some coins in there. Sonic, Scarlett Johansson. You messing with me, bud? There is no way. Daniel Radcliffe says, classic Brickman. Oh, no. Shia LaBeouf. Jess, enough with Shia LaBeouf. It's not Shia LaBeouf. Glenn Powell as the young Hal Jordan. There you go. I think Glenn Powell could be a pretty cool choice. Bear in mind, I've not seen him in anything. I've only just seen images of him, but I've not seen him in anything. Tom Fireboy says, Eric, thoughts on Tom Cruise as Hal Jordan? I don't really know about that. I'm not entirely sure. He's too recognizable, and Tom Cruise is not really an actor. He acts, but you always see Tom Cruise. You never really see the character. Yeah, I guess Robert Downey Jr. is not like a bad choice. Like, I'm not saying he's a great choice, but I'm saying in terms of the look, a bearded Robert Downey Jr. could kind of have a little bit of that. But no, probably Josh Brolin is the closest we can get to that look. King of the Monsters, yeah, he does play himself, except in a couple movies. Oh yeah, Tropic Thunder. No, that's a good example. Now, I'm not saying his entire career he's just played himself, but if you look at his more recent movies, whenever I see him in stuff like The Mummy, or if I see him in things like his Mission Impossible movies, or even in Edge of Tomorrow, I'm always seeing Tom Cruise. He's doing good acting, he's getting emotions across, but he's not transforming himself. That's the thing with Tom Cruise, he never transforms himself. Oh, there you go, Chris Hemsworth, that's a good choice. Kind of matches this image. When you think of Chris Hemsworth with a beard and stuff, and if he looks more serious, less like Thor, then yeah, I think Chris Hemsworth could actually fit that. Oscar Isaac. Maybe, but I think he would really have to bulk up. Big Bash, what are you saying Donald Trump for? Take this seriously. That is kind of funny, though. John Krasinski or Bradley Cooper? Yeah, John Krasinski, that looks a bit like. Bradley Cooper, I'd say a little bit if you give him a big beard. Let me think. Bradley Cooper's face. I don't know. He's too smiley, his face, whenever I see him. Liam Hemsworth. Yeah, no, that's another one that looks like it could fit. Roger Craig Smith. King Charles III says Time Shadow. Okay, now you're just doing this on purpose. Classic Brickman says Will Ferrell. Robin says Chris Evans. Oh, Chris Evans is you're being serious. Yeah, I'd say no. Oh, then Kamala Harris for Wonder Woman. More like Kamala Harris for the female version of Swamp Thing. Adam Sandler, Jimmy Kimmel, The Rock. You guys are The Rock as Hal Jordan. He would not like... Here's the thing with The Rock. He has got such an ego that we all know is in his contract that he can only get hit a certain amount of times. And I think from what I've heard, he's even specified where he can be hit. He can't be hit anywhere else than the places that he says you can hit me, or my character can get hit. He's got such a fragile ego, he does. So, yeah, I bet he's just got... It's really annoying, The Rock. He really is. With his big ego. Shrek as Hal Jordan. No way. Mike Myers, Ben Affleck. They should just bring back Ryan Reynolds, honestly. Oh, look at that. King of the Monsters 2021 donated £1 on Streamlabs, and take a look. Did the sound come through? Oh, the sound didn't come through. That's bizarre. I put a sound effect in there. Let me take a quick look, because that is part of the test and is part of the cool thing. And I've customized it, so for each and every donation that people do, there's going to be different effects. Let me try.
Thanks for the dono.
Did you guys hear that? That is what you were supposed to hear. Don't do the sound, says King of the Monsters. Okay, I'll try to keep it to the usual beep next time. Got a very strong opinion on that King of the Monsters 2021. This was just a test, because I didn't have time to find the actual sounds I wanted, so I had to put a sound in to see if you could hear the sound. So that's why I did that. Oh, anyway, let's read what King of the Monsters wrote. Oh, he's done what? King of the Monsters has done £1. King of the Monsters, you've already done a huge donation. I'm surprised you're still doing more of it. Let's find your message. Here we go. Bradley Cooper with a more serious place. You mean a more serious face? Let's see. What does he look like? Alright. Let's bring this into the stream and show you guys. Live streams. We're on live stream 41 now, aren't we? So let's write that down. Okay. And let's bring that in. Who said Kumail Nanjiani? Now you guys are just really trying to get on my nerves. See, this is why I would say I love you guys, but sometimes I hate you as well. It's like you're trying to just hurt my feelings. Let's add an image in. Like I said, I'm using this new software, so it's kind of new to do all this. Here we go. This is the more serious Bradley Cooper face. Let's bring it off to the side here. Yeah, I think that does kind of match that image, doesn't it, of Hal Jordan, the older Hal Jordan. What do you guys think? He still has a very different looking face compared to what you would imagine, I think. It's great, says Dave. Yeah, Jacob Batalon. Yes, Fireboy Perfect says Fireboy Perfect casting. Michael Jackson as Hal Jordan. Come on, Fireboy, that ain't perfect casting. Who told him it was perfect casting? Sonic, come on. I like it, says Gwen. Sonic, Fireboy, Trevor, Bistro. I still think Matt Damon fits the look better, but he works. Yeah. I don't think he's still the choice. Like, I feel like there's an actor that actually looks like this image. They must have modeled it after someone, I think. Because it does look familiar, like I've seen this before. Peter Griffin as Hal Jordan. John Cena as Hal Jordan, says Big Bash. Yeah, not Chris Pratt. We've just seen him too many times. I don't want to see him in another thing. So no, I'm going to say no to Chris Pratt. And he looks too much like Star-Lord. But yeah, I think if he got older, maybe, then yeah, he could look like this. Andrew Garfield, Madam Web as Hal Jordan. Come on, Time Shadow. Eric Cartman as Jon Stewart. Yakima. Can't wait for the trailer for Superman in December. Is it coming out in December? The trailer. Velma as Hal Jordan, says Sonic. The Dark Lord says this chat is just spamming random names at this point. Yeah, we kind of are. And somehow they're all able to get under my skin in one way or another. Ooh, back of my leg. King of the Monsters like, wait, what? The Acolyte has oh, come on, Big Bash. Oh, look at that. Movie Fan 2002 has done a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that, buddy. He says, how about Oscar Isaac as Hal Jordan? He was in a serious role with a beard in Dune Part 1. The thing is, though, he's Moon Knight right now, so to see him play Hal Jordan, yeah, he has a more serious face and stuff. He still doesn't look as manly, I'd say. I don't mean that as a slight towards him, but I mean, this looks like a very, like, experienced, like, grown man. Oscar Isaac is an older man, but he's not this level of grown. That's what I mean. Someone who's got that wisdom behind them. That's what I feel like it is. It's almost like a Qui-Gon Jinn level of wisdom is what this guy kind of reminds me of. This image of Hal Jordan. So that's what I'm kind of looking at, I think. And thank you, Movie Fan, for the super chat. That was very nice. I appreciate that. You could have had a cool effect on the screen if you did it on Streamlabs. But thank you. I appreciate, like I said, I always appreciate the super chats. Also, right where you can see my screen, where you can see me, there's a YouTube memberships goal, and the goal ends in 21 days. I'm hoping to get 10 members in that time, and we'll see what happens. So I'm just letting you know. If you click the join button, and you click join, it's $5 to become a YouTube member, and then you'll be able to not only get trailer reactions, but you will also be able to join and be part of the Let's Watch show that I do, which will be coming very soon once I finished the Invincible Season 2. I've seen the final episode, and I'm editing it, and then I'll upload it to Patreon soon. Then we'll be able to watch live Loki together. And it will all be through YouTube memberships. So, yeah. Ezra Miller as Hal Jordan. No way. Ezra Miller, did you hear that he got off of all those crimes he commit? Like, he's not being charged for them. Him and Amber Heard, it's like they both get off for all this stuff. I don't even know why, but yeah, I don't want to see Ezra Miller's face again. Freaking embarrassing what he was doing. And this is even before he had those mental problems where he was, you know, beating people, particularly women it was. This is even before all that. Yeah, Gamers team, he is. Amber Heard as Hal Jordan. Okay, I think we've kind of come to the end of all that. Let's get rid of him. And let's move on to the Q&A session. But does anyone have any questions about this before we do? Anyone have any questions about the whole Green Lantern casting? Did you guys want an older Green Lantern that we're getting with Josh Brolin, or do you think we should get a newer one, like someone who's younger, middle-aged instead of old age? Taika Waititi, I think, has killed his career. Thor: Love and Thunder pretty much ended it, and with all the shit he was saying at the time. Elite says, "Oh, Elite, you're not a member anymore. I remember you said you weren't going to be, but it's harder to... I miss when your name was green in the chat, and I could always tell it was you." Oh. Elite says, "Hey, Eric, I want to know that. How did you get the dislike count on the YouTube website?" Oh, did you watch my trailer reaction and you saw when I scrolled down to the dislike counter? Yeah, there is a tweak that you can get, a browser extension that you can apply to Google Chrome and Firefox, I think Safari as well. And it allows you to, look it up on YouTube, you'll find it. It actually says, it allows you to bring back the dislike counter, and it gives you a very good estimate as to what is going on there. So that's what I did, and I did that very shortly after YouTube disabled the dislike counter. So that's what I did, it's what many people do. Yeah, Spirit Hero, it really has. So, Jacinda says, are you excited for Green Lantern's TV show? I am excited because I like the talent they've got on board. The writers and showrunners, it's pretty cool what James Gunn has brought together. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking very much forward to it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So, yeah, I am looking forward to it. I'm excited. Alright then. Let's go here and start the Q&A session. What do you guys want to ask me? And as always, super chats or Streamlabs chats are really appreciated. And every time you do a Streamlabs chat, you should get a nifty little effect come on the screen. Let's see, where is the nifty little effect? There you go, copy. I'll paste the alert box here. And yeah, you should get a nifty little effect pop up. Let's just move it right about here. So yeah, if you donate through Streamlabs, in the top left corner there should be a cool little effect that happens. Factory of Divisive Opinions says, this is the first time I've been this early. I've never actually watched your videos live. I usually wait until the video is available for download, then listen to it at work. Oh, cool. The fact that you listen to it at work, that's great. Factory of Divisive Opinions, are you a new viewer or have you just changed your username? Because I don't remember that name popping up on the stream before. Okay, opinion on Lord of the Rings, this classic Rickman? Love Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit movies, not so much. Do you watch football or not really into sports TV? I'm not really into sports TV, G-Gamer. I don't mind watching tennis occasionally, but, you know, I haven't done that in a long time. I also really enjoyed watching, it's not sports, but snooker. That's something I always liked watching on TV. And yeah, I'm not really a sportsman on TV. I like playing sports, but I don't like watching sports necessarily. Dead Wolf says, who do you think is the most pointless MCU character? Oh, there's so many of them. I would say Amelia Clark's character from Secret Invasion. Completely pointless. Don't even know why she was there. Sonic as Hal Jordan and the Time Shadow as Jon Stewart. You guys are crazy. Yeah, we aren't seeing that character ever again. Oh, King of the Monsters has done another £1 donation. Thank you very much, buddy. Let's see, what you asking? Best and worst utilization of Godzilla in the Monsterverse. Let's take a look. You're saying best and worst. All I see are the best. Unless you're going to send another one with the worst, but I'll import it into the stream. Give me a second. Oh, Jake, your internet is fine now. That is great. Great to have you back on the stream. Hang on. King of the Monsters just donated to me through Streamlabs and sent me an image. I'm just going to import it into the stream. Let's see. There we go. This is what he's sent me. Let me just minimize. Actually, I can't minimize it. I think it's you won't see the image properly, so I'll just make it bigger. So you won't see me for a second, but he said, best and worst utilization of Godzilla in the Monsterverse. But do you guys see the worst here? All I see are the best here. These are some great shots. I don't see the worst. Unless you mean some of the fights are the worst? King of the Monster says, oh yeah, those are the best shots to give a case for each movie. Yeah, these are some beautiful shots. You've picked some really good shots here. I wouldn't say these are the worst at all, really. So, yeah, unless you've got the worst, which you're going to send over after the fact. But, yeah. Yeah, this looks awesome, says Movie Fan 2002. I'm glad. I don't think I have a Rohan. Unless I did, and it had little snippets of, like, that dairy show. You know, that It show and stuff. Planktoon Productions says, hey Eric, I know it's a silly question, but what's your favourite Kung Fu Panda villain? That's not a silly question at all. My favourite is Lord Shen, says Planktoon. Well, you're going to have to help me out here, because I've not seen Kung Fu Panda in years, but I liked the villain a lot in the second movie, the one voiced by Gary Oldman. He was very funny, I thought. Oh. Charlton says, Sony just made a countdown for the second trailer for Venom, The Last Dance. Like it is, like we are all waiting for it, and it needs a countdown. Oh boy, Sony and how tone deaf they are never ceases to amaze me. Remember when the same year The Dark Knight Rises came out, and they were doing The Amazing Spider-Man, a movie that no one was anticipating. In the trailer they said, now, a trailer for the most anticipated movie of the year. It's like, it wasn't the most anticipated movie of the year. That was the same year that Avengers came out, and more importantly, The Dark Knight Rises came out. Like the most anticipated movie of the year, Amazing Spider-Man 1. Ridiculous. King of the Monsters 2021 says, like how you said Gareth Edwards mismanaged Godzilla in 2014. Yeah, I didn't like the way he utilized it. It feels like what he tried to do is what Godzilla Minus One did do. And he even says to the director, I think, did he say that... jokingly he says that I'm jealous. Like when I saw it, I was like, this is the movie I should have made or something. And it's like, that's completely true. He should have made a better movie. Trevor Bistro says, do you think Alien 1979 has the best movie trailer of all time? Yes, I think it did have one of the best ones. Alien 3 also had a very good trailer, but the trailer did not reflect what happened in the actual movie, because they made that trailer before they actually had a movie. So that was kind of silly of them, wasn't it? Time Shadow says, Amber Heard, Tom Hardy, Captain Eric, and the Jake as Hal Jordan multiverse variants. Tom Hardy as... No, he can't do it. I was just thinking about it. I was trying to think of him with a beard. I was like, no, that's not going to do it. Ready for spooky season, Eric, says Source Fierce? Yes, I am, and we can probably do a Halloween watch-along on my YouTube memberships. I always tend to do Halloween videos on my Patreon as well, so we'll see what happens. Last year we watched... Was it Halloween last year when I did this? I think it was. Five Nights at Freddy's. We'll probably watch another movie in a similar fashion on Halloween, on Patreon maybe. I'll try to get that done. Got a lot of videos in the meantime to do. Oh, Sonic, stop. Venom 3 will be awesome. Big Bash says, Venom, the last trash bite. Factory of Diverse Opinions, what, are you new, or did I, like I said, did you change your username? I want to know. That way I can remember you, like, you know, in future, that I was like, oh, that's this viewer that I have seen many times before. Factory of Divisive Opinions says, what is your favourite movie of the year so far? Mine is either Dune 2 or the South Indian movie called Maharaja, something like that. I still haven't seen Dune 2. It's a confession. It's a little confession from me. I better see it before I do my best movies and worst of the year list. How about Nightmare Before Christmas? What about it? I love that movie, though. Imagine they recast Jack Black with Chris Pratt as Steven in Minecraft, says Jake. Yeah. Honestly, I said this in my trailer reaction, they put him in too much. They really have put, Thank you, King of the Monsters, I'll look at that in a second. They've put Jack Black in way too much stuff, especially video game related projects. Okay, King of the Monsters 2021 says, who's the better villain? And is also asked, let's see, you can't mark this, which is unfortunate on the software, the link that you send. Says better villain? Oh, and who has better CGI? Says King of the Monsters. Well, let's take a look. Where are you, factory of divisive opinions? I'm new to the live setting, but I've been a subscriber for years. Oh, okay. Did you change your username at all, or have you just not commented very much? Which is why I probably can't remember your name as much. I will remember it now, but I'm just talking about in the past tense. Not remembered it as much. Let's save this image and bring it into the stream. Takes longer to bring images into this software, which is not as cool. I could do it a lot quicker with the previous software. There's a lot more clicks involved here. Okay, we'll take a look at, oh, darn it. Let's take a look if I can get the arrow here. There we go. Why am I struggling to resize this? Every time it says resize, it just drags it instead. Here we go. Again, you're not going to see me for a second, but just so you can see the image, I'm going to do that just for a little. Alright. Okay, so his question was, better villain? Oh, and who has better CGI? I thought the CGI for Mechagodzilla was really freaking good. Like, they did very good with the material look on him, the metal look. Favorite villain, though, it has to be King Ghidorah. But at the same time, Mechagodzilla had a twisted sense of humor in terms of how he's beating the crap out of Godzilla. But I would still say Ghidorah. Yeah, I would say Ghidorah, buddy. And thanks again for that £1... sorry, £1 Streamlabs chat. Thank you. And speaking of chats, thank you very much to MovieFan2002 for a $5 super chat. Eric, what is your favorite scene in the Star Wars movies outside of I Am Your Father? That's a very good question. My favorite movie is when... sorry, my favorite scenes... one of my favorite scenes is when Darth Vader tries to get Luke out of hiding in the 6th movie so he can fight him, but he can't find Luke, so instead he tries to bring Leia into it, and then when the way he says that I've sensed you have a sister... So, you have a twin sister. Like, that's the first time Darth Vader got devious, and you heard that deviousness in his voice. And then he goes, if you won't turn to the dark side, then perhaps she will. I love how he tried to egg Luke on. And then, that is where Luke just lost it and just snapped. That was so cool. I really liked that. That was one of my favourite scenes, and it was a great piece of music there too. So I'd say that is, aside from the I Am Your Father, that is another one of my favourite scenes in the original Star Wars movies. Oh, and I got a super chat from Kevin as well. Who's done a $2 super chat. Thank you, buddy. Did you ever play God of War 2018 and Ragnarok? I did play God of War 2018, but I only had it for a limited amount of time, and I didn't get to play it all the way through, and when I had to give it back, I got the Spider-Man PS4 game, so there came a point where I got stuck. It was a bit difficult, and I was getting bored of the game because it felt like it was going on for too long. So yeah, then I decided to get... play Spider-Man because that arrived in the mail, and then I moved on from God of War. And because I've not finished the first one, I didn't go back to Ragnarok. I didn't get Ragnarok. Who knows? Maybe on the Steam Deck I'll get it at some point and play it there, maybe. Because it's on the Steam Deck now, isn't it? So yeah. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, MovieFan2002, for the super chats. I appreciate it. Factory of Divisive Opinion says, actually, I'm the guy who gave Versus video advice to you over 3 years ago during the Snyder Cut hype. I tried to make some videos of my own after being inspired by you. I still make some here and there. Oh, really? Send me a link to your channel and I'll take a... Why do I... Actually, no, I don't have to... You don't send me a link, do you? I should be able to click your name and I should be able to take a look. But I'll take a look. Where are you on the chat here? There you are. There. Go to channel. Let's see. You got a lot of movie reviews. Oh, you've done a lot of Versus videos of your own here too. I think it's not a stretch to say that I gave you that inspiration, maybe. Maybe. But great, I'll check out some of those videos from you later and probably leave a comment as well. Although it is 11:40 PM right now, by the time I'm done this stream, it'll probably be past midnight. So we'll see if I do. I might want to go to sleep after this, who knows. Let's see. Oh, Jake! Thank you very much, Jake. I don't know why it doesn't let me give you a heart on the super chat here. On this new software for some reason. Let's see if I can do it through YouTube. Yeah, through YouTube it lets me. But thank you, Jake, very much. I really appreciate that. Okay, now the heart has shown up here, but why didn't it show up before? Is it invisible heart or something? Why isn't it letting me like? And now it's frozen up a little bit. Come on, speed up. It did this earlier and then it got going again. There we go. Let's see. Oh. Oh, it's because I'm not logged into my account on this software. That's why it's not letting me heart it. I'll do it, I'll probably for the next stream I'll be signed in. But Jake has done a $28 donation. Thank you very much, Jake. As always, I appreciate your generosity. I really do. His question is, by the way, Venom, the last fuck given. By the way, Venom, the last fuck given. Also, you know Team Fortress 2. I was thinking what a live action movie would be like. Though nowadays I know they'd cast Chris Pratt because they always do, don't they? Jack Black because they always do, don't they? Akafa? Who's Akafa? Akafa and some other overused person. What's Akafa? Do you spell that wrong or am I just not getting it right? Let me look it up. Ooh. I think it might be a typo on that one, I think, Jake. Or was that the actual name? But yeah, they do. I get your point. They do seem to hire the same people over and over again, don't they? It gets really irritating. Oh, Factory of Advice Opinion says, Eric, I didn't give any Versus video advice to you. You gave the advice to me. That's what I wrote. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Actually, I'm the guy who you gave Versus video advice to over 3 years ago. Oh, right. Okay, then. Sorry about that. But Jake, thank you for the super chat. Tell me if that's the name of the person you're talking about. But like I said, I get your point. Chris Pratt was hired in way too much stuff. Like in the Garfield movie, the recent movie, his voice for Mario surprisingly worked, but for Garfield, it didn't work at all. It was very bad. And Jack Black, I'm just kind of getting tired of seeing him. There was a time where I used to smile every time he was on screen, but now he's not. I just think he's being overexposed. Oh, and you meant Awkwafina. Yeah, Awkwafina. And also Kumail Nanjiani, who they keep casting as a comedic role, but he never gets any laughs. So that's annoying. Yeah, they just keep going to the same people. Studio Process, have you played Batman Arkham Origins? If you have, what's your opinion on it? Yes, I have played Arkham Origins, and I love it. It's not as good as some of the others, as the other 3 Arkham games, but I think it's underrated. I think it is a really, really good movie, and I thoroughly enjoy it. Sorry, not movie, really great game, and I thoroughly enjoy it. I love the challenge maps in that game, too. The sound effect, the different punching sound effects and stuff in these Batman games is always fun to listen to. Planktoon Production says, is it bad that I actually prefer Topher Grace's Venom over Tom Hardy's Venom? Topher's Venom felt more like a realistic, down-to-earth predator than a goofy comic relief anti-hero. Have you not seen my Spider-Man 3 Versus video? With Venom, check it out. You and me might both share a similar opinion there. Jedge MSMDM, I'm sorry, bud, I can't really spell that, if that's meant to be something. Says, Eric, just finished Attack on Titan Season 1, and I would definitely recommend. My jaw was dropped from start to finish. In comparison to Avatar, though, I still slightly prefer that. Yeah, that's fair enough. I've not seen the show. My sister did. She really enjoyed it. I've not seen it. I've seen other anime. But, yeah, I doubt I would enjoy it as much as Avatar. To me, that's my #1 favorite show. Jess says, Eric, you said the F word uncensored. That is crazy. Yeah, it is crazy, isn't it? For my channel, at least. Sir, King of the Monster says, Sir, I sent my own Streamlabs here. Oh, you did? It's just that it was, Jake's popped up on this chat here, and it moved yours down. Let me write... Sorry, King of the Monsters. Let me do another one. I really appreciate, King of the Monsters, that you do use the Streamlabs chat, because like I said, 100% of the donation goes to me when that happens, so thank you very much for using Streamlabs. That's my preferred way for the donations to go through. Where is... I need to find the link. Oh, here we go. Jake says he's done it before, though. Who's done what before? Oh wow, it's starting to pour it with rain outside. King of the Monsters 2021 says, who was the better ape and had better CGI? I think I already know the answer just by looking at these pictures here. I've heard of Team Fortress 2, Jake, yeah. What about it? Oh, saying the F word. Yes, I have said it before, yeah. So it's not a huge deal, but I don't do it very often. Probably that's what he means when he goes that he's... when he's saying that I said the F word. Alright, let's see if I can have a better time resizing this now. Yes, I can. And now it's selecting something else. There we go. Small it a bit. And the resizing tools here are not as good as my previous software. I've got to get used to it. Alright, so King of the Monsters says, who was the better ape and had better CG? It's funny that you haven't got Peter Jackson's King Kong here. That would have made things more difficult. But I would say the better ape and the better CGI was Caesar from War for the Planet of the Apes. Yeah, I would say Caesar from War for the Planet of the Apes looked the best, and was the better ape. That's the one where he really, you know, conquered a lot of inner demons in himself. So yeah, that's what I would say. There you go. You meant across all 3 films. What did you mean? The specific reason why I chose Monster vs. Kong was because each currently have 3 movies. Oh, okay. Let's see. Can I bring it back? Yes, I can. Okay, so King of the Monsters, what was your question? Say it again in full so I can properly understand. Oh, Matthew's saying Kong. Jess is saying Kong. So what was your question, bud? Let's see. Yeah, they do have 3 movies, yeah. I would say Caesar is still the better character, though. He has, like, a proper character to him. He has a better character to him as opposed to what, you know, this new Kong had. King of the Monsters, my question is, who was the better ape across these 3 films, and who had the better and more consistent CG across these 3 films? Okay, the better... I would say still Caesar, all the way through. Kong did look better in that first movie, but he didn't look as good in the third one. Caesar looked good in the first movie for the time, but then in the second movie he looked great, and in the third movie he looked even better. I don't think they've I don't think... I don't think it came close in terms of the comparison between the two. I think Caesar did far better visually and in terms of the character. Who's a better fighter, Caesar or Kong? Kong is the better fighter, of course. But Caesar is no slouch. He can also kick butt. Wow. King of the Monsters says, it's funny because Kong Skull Island and War for the Planet of the Apes both got nominated for a VFX Oscar in the same year. Really? Kong was good, but Caesar was far better. They did a lot more with Caesar as well. There was much more of a performance there consistently, and it was a much deeper, character-driven story that was going on. Big Bash says War should have won an Oscar. Yeah, it should have. And it was emotionally gut-punching, says Movie Fan 2002. Yeah, it was. Jake says, just because someone can fight better doesn't mean they're a better character, to be honest. Exactly, I totally agree. King of the Monsters 2021 says, alright, await my next 3 Streamlabs chats. That's all my budget can afford now. I'm surprised you're still doing more, but he after that. But thank you, I will await. Oh shit! I'm sorry, I thought you guys were seeing me the whole time. Turns out you weren't. That bloody ape image was still on the screen. I'm sorry about that. Like, genuinely, that whole time I thought you guys could see me. I didn't know I left that image up there. Plankton Production says, can you imagine Brad Bird and Sam Raimi working on Megamind 2 together? It would be peak cinema. That's very random, isn't it? I don't know. They should get the same people that worked on the first one and get them back in. Khan says, what with all these donations that Eric has, he might as well buy a new house to live in. That's funny, but trust me when I say YouTube take a cut when you do super chats, but it's when you do Streamlab chats, they take no cut. Then yes, I probably could at that point. Just kidding. It's not that much to do that, but it is very nice to be supported that way, and it's really helps do this as a living. So I always appreciate the super chats when you do them. That's why I say Streamlabs is better, because all of it goes to me and none of it goes to YouTube. Factory of Divisive Opinion says, hey Eric, what's your favourite black and white movie? Mine is 12 Angry Men. Mine is 12 Angry Men too. I love that movie. It's in my top 10 favourite films of all time. I think it might even be in my top 5. I love that movie. I watched it when we were waiting for the jury to deliberate on Johnny Depp's court case, you know, with his defamation lawsuit. I was waiting for that because I wanted to see... Because I also wanted to see, I heard of this movie, but I wanted to know what really goes on between jury members behind the scenes. And I was like, alright, probably a good time to watch this movie. Then I suggested my mum and dad watch it as well. They watched it too. And we says, this is essentially what's going on in the Johnny Depp court case right now, is that they're trying to deliberate on what was going on. Movie Fan says, my favourite black and white film is Schindler's List. Although it is a film that you have to be in the right mindset to watch it. That's why I've still not seen it to this day. Because it's 3 hours long, and yeah, like you said, you got to be in the right mindset, because it's a black and white movie that's 3 hours long. Trevor Bistro says, should I check out 12 Angry Men? Yeah, you should. The original black and white movie is fantastic. Don't bother with the 90s remake they did. That was awful. It was very funny as well, the movie was. But great, great movie. I love that movie. Jake says, my favourite black and white movie is King Kong. I still need to see that. I'm still intending to, and I want to see the black and white Godzilla as well, the first Godzilla movie. The G-Gamer says, thoughts on media subverting expectations either in a good or bad way. What do you mean by that? You need to be a bit more specific. That's a bit vague. Hey Eric, late to the stream, says Smoothie King. Just saw Beetlejuice 2. Won't spoil it, but I liked it. I love the original Beetlejuice, so it was nice. If you saw it, do you think it was good? Or are you going to post a video? I have seen it, Smoothie King. I saw it on Friday, the day it came out. I'm writing my versus video as well, so stay tuned. I'm going to be talking about Beetlejuice 2. Trevor Bistro says, Young Frankenstein is my favourite black and white movie. Cool. I've heard a lot of good stuff about Young Frankenstein. It's more of a funny movie, isn't it? Jacinda says, my favourite black and white movie is Night of the Hunter, starring Robert Mitchum. Huh, Night of the Hunter. Interesting. Never heard of that one before. Eric, are you interested in any of the other films featured at the Venice Film Festival? I don't even know what other films were featured. I didn't look into it that deeply. I was just paying attention to Joker coming out at that point. Big Bash, I agree. I did like the 2005 Fantastic Four movie. I enjoyed it. Frankenweenie is also a good one, says Jake. Yeah, I think... Did I see that one or did I see another one? It might have been Frankenweenie. Frankenweenie was with a dead dog, right? If so, I think that was okay if I remember it correctly. If it's the right one that I'm thinking of. Angelo says, mine is It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, that's also a really good movie. Rank the Lord of the Rings films. 3, 1, 2. That's how my preferred method is. 3 and 1 sometimes, can, depending what mood I'm in, will switch places. But usually that's the order. 3, 1, 2. Jake says, by the way, I have to go now. See you soon. Oh, it's going to be sad to see you go, Jake, but thank you for joining the stream and for coming back when your internet got better. I really appreciate that. And thank you for the donation. As always, I really appreciate that too. I hope you enjoy the Patreon content when you come over. And I guess I'll have to see that movie that you wanted me to see as well. So I'll be keeping in touch in that regard, Jake. So thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate it, buddy. G-Gamer says, like, I mean by subverting expectations, I mean like movies having a twist in it, expecting one thing but getting another. I don't know, I've never paid attention to the media when they do that. I pay attention more to the reviewers if they try to hint at it. But I never really paid attention to the media when they talk about this stuff. I don't trust them, so I never pay attention to it, really. The Time Shadow says, no more insane donations today. Well, there were insane ones last week, weren't they? Robin says, what is your favourite stop-motion film? Nightmare Before Christmas. My favourite stop-motion film. Lord of the Rings... Oh, that comment went away. Charleston says, Lord of the Rings is one of my top 5 favourite trilogies. Yeah, for me, I think it might be my top 3. No, Matthew Club, I've not seen the Netflix masterpiece Dark. Big Bash says Matt Reeves and then Michael Bay. I know you're joking, but just think about that movie that Michael Bay is making right now. The one I forgot. The Toilet, was it, or whatever? He's doing a lot more worse films now. So he's way far beyond Matt Reeves. You know, too far away. Crazy Cat Lady, $5 donation. Thank you very much, Crazy Cat Lady, or as I always say, nice cat lady. Joker said in Arkham Asylum that was his hobby, to abuse Harley. Yeah, it was. Different interpretations, but yeah, some he's more abusive than the others in his interpretations. Is that in Development Hell, King of the Monsters? Wow, I'd be surprised if that was in Development Hell. It seems like it would be... Thing is, you'd think that they would have thought, whatever it's in Development Hell for, you'd think that they would have realized that ahead of time, but the fact they were so certain, no, we're gonna make this movie, and then it's in Development Hell, I'm like, well, yeah, no shit, it was gonna be a bad movie anyway, who wanted it? Aviarad is somehow joining the chat. Hey Eric, I'm now to screw up the Naruto film, so deal with it. I think that's Jess, is it? That might be Jess posing as Aviarad. Yeah, no one likes Aviarad. Somehow he keeps staying in the business though, even though he's a shitty producer. Khan says, yeah, I don't care about the Naruto film or the Naruto franchise, so go ahead and ruin that one. Is he in charge of the Naruto franchise? Has he got a producing credit on a live action movie or something? Got a movie recommendation that just came out this year called Civil War, not the MCU one. Yeah, I've heard of that. I've not seen it yet. Hell no. Naruto is awesome, says Big Bash. Big Bash said that he saw, was it all the seasons, was it, in a couple of months or something? Or was it half the season? I can't remember. I think it was all the seasons. Robin says, Eric, who's your favourite classic movie monster? Mine would have to be Dracula. Yeah, Dracula is one of my favourite ones too. Dracula, the Wolfman. I've not seen much of Frankenstein though. Khan says, so how was Destroying Spider-Man 3 going for you? You can check the videos where I talk about it. If you want to see how it went for me. Or unless you're talking about No Way Home. No. Oh, you're talking to Avia Raj. You're not talking to me, aren't you? Oh, yeah. Don't blame on me for not making Venom rated R, you idiots. I'm a PG-13 fanboy, says Jess. I mean, Avia Rod. Spirit Hero says, have you seen Stanley Kubrick's Doctor Strangelove? No, I haven't. I haven't seen that. Oh, Matthew Clubb says, mine is Underworld, The Dark Knight, and 30 Days of Night. Would want to see a Batman and Superman World's Finest movie in James Gunn's DCU. Yeah, at some point I would. Oh, King of the Monsters has tipped another £1. Surprised he's still able to. Or still willing to is the word I mean, not still able to, still willing to. Which is very nice of him. Let's see here. Okay, alright, who has the better girl? And of course, I will ask, who had better CG? Okay, let's resize this on this software, which is kind of painstakingly annoying. Alright, let's see. Don't worry, Connor. It's great that you're here. So it's okay. So Jess, the King of the Monster says, alright, who was the better girl? And of course, I will ask you, who had better CG? I would say Mothra. Mothra looked really good, and I would say probably had the better CGI as well, yeah. The first Godzilla, at first glance, will make you think those creatures had better CGI, but they're really just covered in so much darkness you can't see their imperfections as much. To me, that is cheating. So I would say Mothra. That ice monster is cool, but also doesn't look as real as well, is what I would say. So, yeah. Hey Eric, do you wish MCU Spider-Man would interact with Black Widow? I don't really care, to be honest. I don't really care about that coupling. Like, at all, really. I think you forgot to review Age of Ultron when doing a Versus video. No, I just moved on to other things. I'll do Age of Ultron one day, but not right now. Maybe when they're closer to that Vision show, when they bring Ultron back, maybe that'll be a good time to cover Ultron the first time he was in, in the MCU. She-Mo. Okay, I'll try to remember that, King of the Monsters. But yeah, that was a kind of cool creature as well. Because Shima is brown. Yeah, I get it. So the next video is going to be the Batman versus video, says G-Gamer. Yep. It'll be that, and then it'll be Puss in Boots 1 versus 2, then it'll be Beetlejuice, and then I'm getting over to doing your video if I can get it all done. I'm really trying to squeeze those all in. And then, yeah, from there we'll move on to doing King of the Monsters 2021. Try to at least edit or watch the movies to work on his video. G-Gamer says, alright, I'm just curious. Yeah, that's no problem at all. Javier Rod says, Eric, you should watch Bratz the movie. It's a cinematic masterpiece. If your name is attached to it, then I seriously doubt that. Yeah. King of the Monsters 2021 says, G-Gamer, can my commission for a Godzilla review swap with your Megamind 2 review so it can align with November 3? Is that what King of the Monsters is asking G-Gamer that? Well, that's a conversation between you two. I'll leave that to you two. Robin says, if you could pick one slightly fantastical Batman villain for Matt Reeves' universe, who would you pick? I think he could pull off Killer Croc, since he's just a human born with a rare skin condition. That's a very good an idea. It had to be a big muscly dude, though. I'd like Scarface to be there. I'd like Scarface. I think he could do something really messed up and psychological with that, because it is very grounded, Scarface as a character. Spirit Hero says, hey Eric, I just want to say that I am currently taking film class in hopes of becoming a screenwriter, and you have been a huge inspiration for my appreciation and critique of films. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you very much for that, bud. I appreciate that. That's nice. Good luck to you, by the way, and be sure to still remember all of us when you make it big in the industry. And be sure to never feel like a stranger on this chat. You're always welcome. Trevor Bistro says, would love to Mr. Freeze. Yeah, Mr. Freeze is another. Matt Reeves did express interest in that. Do you find clowns scary? I don't, says Angelo. No, I don't. I remember when I was young and in the nursery, I never found the clowns scary either. I was like, oh, cool, finally get to see a clown. By the way, Matt Reeves has hinted that there's going to be even more corruption in the Batman, and that seeds were planted in the first movie. Myself and other people were saying, oh, so it might be the Court of Owls in the next Batman movie. So we'll see about that. That'll be interesting. Court of Owls. How dare they dislike a crappy producer, says Big Bash. Robin, yes, it could be the Court of Owls. We'll see, Matthew Club, because there's always new videos to make. Because new movies come out, and people commission videos now, which you've seen, and I've got those to do. Looks like G-Gamer has agreed to swap his place on my schedule with King of the Monster 2021. If you're okay with that, buddy, then I'll do it. It'll take a bit longer for your review to come out, though. Gotta tell you that. Sonic says, Eric, out of everyone in this stream, who can play Batman the best? Lol. Maybe Jake, because he's always seems like the rich dude in these streams. The G Gamer says, as long as you're able to watch Megamind 2 before your lists, I'm good. I'll be watching Megamind 1, then Megamind 2, so I can, have a more informed opinion, because I haven't seen Megamind 1 since I was a kid. So I'm going to be watching that again, I think. Jake is probably a millionaire. Yeah, he's definitely like the Bruce Wayne of these streams, isn't he? Big Bash says, Eric, watch My Little Pony and review it. Pay me and I will. King of the Monsters 2021 says, alright, I gotta go eat dinner. My tummy has been rumbling. Nope, see ya. No problem, buddy. Take care. Goodbye. And thank you again for the commissions. That was very generous. I appreciate it. And I hope you enjoy the reviews when I post them. The reviews that you requested. Planktoon says, what's the worst CGI you have ever seen in your entire existence? Mine is the Scorpion King, Dwayne Johnson. That's a very good choice that you picked. For me, it would be the robot battle in the Power Rangers movie. I did a versus video of the 1995 Power Rangers movie with, I think, the 2017 Power Rangers movie. I thought the CGI in that 1995 movie was atrocious. Like, terrible. Like, PS1, like, worst version of PS1 graphics is what it looked like. Okay, I'm going to end the stream now in, let's see, 4 minutes. We'll make it 2 hours and 15 minute stream. Dead Wolf, I'm not going to binge watch the Velma series. We'll see. I was going to do a video on it where I was going to do fake IMDb reviews, but I never got around to it, unfortunately, at the time. But that was what I was originally going to be doing on it. Shielka's the worst CGI that I've seen. I won't say it's the worst that I've seen, but it was pretty bad. It was good in places, but pretty bad in others. Hand raised, Planktoon Productions. Well, what will we sue him for? Aviarad, that is. Crazy Cat Lady says, you didn't read my super chat yet. Was there a super chat here? It's written down. I did. Are you talking about the super chat where you said Joker said in Arkham Asylum that was his hobby to abuse Harley? Because I've already read that. Unless you missed it, I'm scrolling through. I don't see any other. Yeah, I've already read that one. I talked about how there's different interpretations. Yeah, I think I did watch the Nosferatu trailer, Robin, but I think I've forgotten what was even in it. The G-Gamer, I think I understand what you're saying. You go, last question. From all your worst lists, what was the hardest to have 5 worst movies? Like, as in, it was hard to think of 5, or what would be the worst movie of that year? The hardest to think of 5 was the ones where I'm like, I put a movie that's not too bad, but it ended up on the list. Those are the ones I was struggling to put, those are the lists that I was struggling with the most. So if you watch the review, where I say, the top 5 worst video, where I say there wasn't much bad movies or something, so then I put one that wasn't too bad at the bottom of the list. That's a good indicator. But the one that I thought was the hardest was the year I didn't make a worst movies list, because there just wasn't, aside from 1 or 2 maybe. That was the one. If you go back to one of the years where we talked about this on one of the recent streams, I said I didn't make a worst of list on one of them. It was going to be one of those, the ones where I just really struggled. So yeah, I would say that. The year where I didn't make it. I can't remember what year it was, but there was a year I didn't make any worst movie list, because it was just so hard to come up with any. Okay, we got 30 seconds if anyone wants to ask any more questions. Then we're going to end the stream. Big Bash says, Eric, do you wish Hulk was in Civil War? Yes and no, because I think anyone who had Hulk had an unfair advantage. The advantage was much more fair when they didn't have Hulk on their team. G-Gamer says, I'm going to go now. Have a good day. You too, G-Gamer, and I am going to be leaving the stream now as well. So thank you, everyone, so much. I really appreciate all the support that you've given me, all the donations and everything. Khan says, I'm right now, Eric. I'll timecode everything as usual, including King of the Monsters commissions. Oh, thanks very much, Khan. I always love and appreciate when you do that for me. It really does help, so thank you very, very much. Oh, the Time Shadow has done a £2 super chat. Says, Deadpool 3 or No Way Home for multiverse story and why? I would say both of them were incredibly flawed in terms of their utilization of the multiverse into the story. But I would say the better one was probably No Way Home, but I wasn't even fond of the way they did it. From a story perspective, it probably edges out Deadpool 3, but even then, I wasn't fond of the way both of them did it. I think they both had flaws with their multiverse. So, but I will just edge out No Way Home, even though I wasn't a fan of how they had Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield act in it, especially Maguire. So yeah, that's the one that I would pick. Thank you, Time Shadow, again, and Cheeky Bugger says, waited till the last second again. Well, you really did. You got in there just at the right time, so that worked, and now he's done it again. Let's see. Let's see. Let's write that down. Time Shadow asks... Opinions on Age of Ultron, underrated in my opinion. Age of Ultron presented itself as in the trailers and marketing as being a much more serious movie, to the point that the trailers were advertising it like a horror film. But then it didn't end up being a horror movie, and it ended up being one of the most jokiest MCU movies, and they really did a terrible job with the utilization of Ultron. They really weakened him just to make it easier for the Avengers to fight, and then he just became a generic villain in the end. That sucked. So I really don't like Age of Ultron because it was such a wasted opportunity, full of wasted potential, and too much freaking jokes, which I can't stand. So I don't think it was underrated. I think, if anything, it's overrated back then, and it's even overrated now. The Time Shadow says, I've done another one. Another £2 super chat. Says, were you planning on doing It Chapter 1 versus 2? I was, but then YouTube started getting more strict with the copyright, the copyright claims, so I couldn't put any music in the background. And one of the things I loved about my It versus videos was using the It horror music in my reviews, and even the nice, beautiful instrumental music. And I wasn't able to use that no more, and that really gutted me. I was like, I had ideas of cool music to use in the versus video, but now it's gone, and it's not going to hit the same. So I didn't end up making it. I was even going to do X-Men 3 versus Dark Phoenix, but that didn't happen either for the same reason, because I wanted to use the music from both films, especially X-Men 3, but it didn't work, so I wasn't able to. And yeah, that really hurt, that did, because I really did want to. I really did, and yeah, some versus videos I just can't make. It's like I said, if I get 100 patrons, I will make that How to Train Your Dragon versus video, the 3-way one, and I'll use the music from the movie, and I'll not monetize the video. So that's, again, another Patreon thing. You know. And we've got another one. I wrote down one. It's not one. It's a £2 donation now. Again, from Time Shadow. Thank you, buddy. Says, a film you used to love but saw too much and don't like. That's a very good question. A movie that I liked, but I saw too much and now I don't like it as much. It's funny, my brother did that to the 3 Spider-Man movies that we watched growing up. He watched Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 so many times, especially Spider-Man 2, that I couldn't really enjoy it no more because he kept putting it on. And he did the same with some episodes of TV shows as well that we used to watch. So I'd say probably the Spider-Man movies, because my brother, my younger brother, my little brother, he would put it on so many times I got so bored. And to this day, it still kind of bores me because of the amount of times he put it on. So I would say Spider-Man 2. In particular, because of that one. There might be another one, but it's not coming to me. I think my other brother, when he was young, kept putting the mask on over and over, and that was another reason why another one I actually fell out of. But it's been so many years now since that I actually do feel better about it. Yeah, So, £2 again. Time Shadow. Man, Time Shadow, you really were waiting till the end, weren't you? I didn't comprehend just how much you were waiting till the very end. And we'll be here all night. See, Dark Lord, these others, I didn't realize that you guys were all reacting to this. Time Shadow is the man, says Big Bash. Okay, it says best Stranger Things character and why. That's a good question. Best character and why. I really did like Eleven's arc in the first movie and the second movie. Third one, it was good, but I thought Max was such a bitch. Like, I actually did not like Max from season 3 onwards. I really did like her in season 2, and I was like, yeah, come on, Mike, let her be part of the team. But then when you see how much damage she causes and division she causes in season 3 and season 4, I'm like, just tell her to piss off and get her off the team. I thought she was so rude in the 4th season. Even when things got better, she was still felt like she was being bloody rude and like just completely social outcast, even though she wasn't that in the previous 2 seasons. And season 3, she was just getting in 11. She was like putting a division between 11 and Mike. You'd think as a girl she would be smart and say, did your dad talk to Mike? That why he's acting weird? Then that's the reason why. It's because your father told him something. But instead she's like, you know what? I bet they're just boys going about doing boy things and you're ignoring us. And if he does this, dump his ass. Like, she was teaching him all the worst things. And then when Lucas had to say to Mike, he goes, when they were in the hospital, and he goes, here, I'll distract Max. You go talk to 11. I was like, the fact that they have to distract Max, like she's getting in the way of Mike and 11, like getting on good terms again. I was like, Max is just causing trouble here. Like, she really was. And it was surprising that happened, considering I really did like her in the second season. And I thought Mike should have, loosen up. She's pretty cool. But then season 3 and 4, I did not like her at all, really. 4, I thought she was, like, I just didn't like her whatsoever. Yeah, she got better, and I understood the reason why she was depressed in the 4th season, but even when she was supposed to be happy, she still came across as very depressed. Time Shadow says, whoa, that's interesting, because I love Max. I did too. In season 2, I thought, wow, this is a great character. Like, instantly, she just fit with the group, and that's not easy. But the writing they did for her, it's like they tried to make her more depressed emo in a way as the seasons went on. And, yeah, that's what bothered me in season 3 and 4. She felt like she was causing more damage to the group than anything. And that is a shame, because I did really like her character in season 2, and I wanted to see more of her character. And she was still good in the 3rd season, but I did not like her at all in the 4th season. But that's the reason why. I don't think it's anything to do with the actress. I think it was to do with the writing for her character. And season 4 did have a lot of problems with writing in general. They were trying to like just force too much characters and too much story and a lot of stuff into that 4th season. So yeah, I think that is it, the Time Shadow. You got a bit of information there on Stranger Things, because you wanted to know my opinions on that, didn't you? And you know what? Time Shadow, last time I said 1,000 to do the video, but what if it was 750? Would that interest you over a period, if I did the video? I was just thinking, because earlier the other day when I was having breakfast, I think it was a day or 2 ago, I was thinking, did I miss your other super chat? Oh, there's another one. I'll answer it. I got it. I'll answer it in a second. I was thinking a couple days ago when I was having breakfast, all of a sudden some thoughts of Stranger Things Season 4 came into my head. I was thinking, wow, I think that I can do a video on this. If I write my thoughts down over a period, I should be able to get a script done. So if you do want that, I'll do. It is a long season, like I said, really freaking long, especially the final episode, like 2.5 hours or something. Really, really long. So it will still be a higher price point, but it won't be the 1,000, maybe 750. What do you think of that? You can email me and let me know what you think. Anyway, your other question is, first film you saw that you thought was a masterpiece. The first one I saw where I was like, wow, that is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10, was The Dark Knight. And to this day, it's not left. It's always stayed on that list. Another one was Beauty and the Beast. That's another one where I'm like, masterpiece. The only thing I would say is that witch at the beginning, they call her a beautiful enchantress. To me, she's not a beautiful enchantress. She's an evil witch. And I feel like the fact that she actually turned... I understand turning the prince into a beast, but all the servants and everyone in the house into, like, household objects that can break easily, like, even the little kids into little teacups, that was evil. That, to me, is not enchantress-worthy. That is witch-worthy. So they should take their pitchforks and sing a song, Kill the Witch. And I would be all for that. Yeah, so yeah, that's good. Time Shadow says I'll be sure to send you an email. Yeah, let me know what you think. But yeah, that would be an interesting one, because I could put it into categories, and I think I could get it done. Probably not right now, because I've got a lot of commission videos to do right now. But I think I could do it. Batman's Gamer, you've made it, but you changed your thumbnail to like, your picture from an S from a Batman. Was it Batman 4 to an S? Batman's Gamer says I flipping made it. If it wasn't for Time Shadow, you wouldn't have made it. You would have just missed it. But he was keeping me on with the super chats all the way to the end, and that's why you just made it. You know what, Batman's Gamer? I'll let you ask me one question, because you were here. I don't want to leave you. I've had that feeling joining a stream right at the end, then just leaving. So yeah, you can give me one more question. I'll answer it for you. Batman's Gamer says, let me think. Okay. Do you guys know something interesting that I've done about this stream? This is the first stream where it's been 2.5 hours. I've not had any water on me. Usually you see me drinking water to cool down. This time I've not done it. I'm just sore throat and everything. Yeah. Stay hydrated, Eric, says Big Bash. Yeah, I will be. When I'm finished the stream, I'm going to go and have some water, listen to music, maybe have a green tea. I don't know, but something. Yeah, Dead Wolf, that sounds good. Beauty and the Beast hunt for the Enchantress. Time Shadow says to Batman's Gamer, take as long as you need to think. That way we can keep him on for longer. I'm not going to stay on for that long, so he has to still come up with something. Oh, Jess has done a $5 super chat. Do you guys mind if I ask you a question as well? I am curious. Why don't you use Streamlabs as often? Because I thought it was easy in my head. You know, Streamlabs donations. Is it because it's inconvenient? Do you have to make... Is there an account you have to make? Is there something I'm not aware of? Is it more difficult than I thought it was? Because I thought that would be super easy. It turns out it's... might not be as easy as I thought. So I'm just curious. How come? Is it harder to donate there or what? Jess says, hey Eric, what is the difference between Naruto and Aang? And how did Aviarad treat you in this chat? Aviarad has... was just being a troll, as Aviarad always is. And what is the difference between Naruto and Aang? I don't know, because I've not seen Naruto. I remember seeing adverts of it on TV, but it was on Nickelodeon at the time, and I never had Nickelodeon, so I never got to see Naruto. But Aang, we know that he's a monk, we know that he's very honourable, he's also a little bit silly, but that's charmingly silly. And yeah, there's... I don't know what else to really say about that, because I can't really compare the two. I've only seen one and not the other. So yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jess. And I wish I could give you more of an answer on Naruto, but I've never seen it. And like I said, I knew that Aviarad was you the whole time. I just knew it. Big Bashers, can Captain Eric order me cookies? Can Captain Eric order me pizza? Is this a new meme? What has happened? What have I missed? See, even the Time Shadow is saying, wait, guys, why are we all asking Eric for food? Yeah, I'm curious, where did this come from? Okay, Batman's Gamer, there you are. Your question is, are you hopeful for Jurassic World, Fantastic Four, First Steps, Blade, Armor Wars? Because I'm actually somehow excited for Jurassic World Rebirth. Jurassic World Rebirth, I think the plot is kind of out there in terms of like, you can read what the synopsis is, but I've not read it yet, so I don't really know what to say about that. Putting Scarlett Johansson in there, I'm not sure how she'll do in a dinosaur setting. We'll see, I guess, but I don't know. To me, I'm curious. Mahershala Ali in there is kind of cool, but I feel like, is he just going to be like the black guy that Chris Pratt had in his Jurassic World movie? So I'm not sure. We'll have to see. In terms of Fantastic Four first steps, it's Marvel. They said the movie's coming out in a year, and they had literally just started shooting. So that means they're going to try to complete the movie in a year, which I think is too quick. They're not giving their VFX artists enough time. James Gunn is doing it essentially in a year and a half. And in that time, he gave his VFX artists a lot of time, and the movie finished shooting, and it's not coming out for a year from when it completed shooting, meaning that they've got tons of time to work on it. Fantastic Four doesn't have tons of time, so I feel like it's going to be cheaper in the way it's made, in a way. So that doesn't give me confidence. Also, it's coming out the same month as Jurassic World, Rebirth, and Fantastic Four, and Superman, James Gunn's Superman. That's 3 movies in 1 month. That is kind of concerning as well. So, and Blade, I think, is still in development hell, just because they said they're getting a new writer. How many times have they said that? And a new director? How many times have they said that before? And then they end up they end up leaving the project, then they end up looking for another writer and director. So that means nothing. Armor Wars, I don't care about. That's a roadie project, isn't it? They were going to make it a show, then they decided to make it a movie. I don't care about Armor Wars. They need to give me a reason to care, and I just don't. So, am I hopeful? I'm hopeful mainly for James Gunn's Superman. That's going to be the big movie to talk about. The rest, they're just movies being made as Hollywood keep making them. I feel like the one that's going to have the real passion in it, though, is going to be James Gunn's Superman. That's my opinion on that. So yeah, Batman's Game, a very good question. Thank you for answering. And people are still asking me for food. Time Shadow says, where is Jake and Sarah? Jake left, and Sarah didn't show up for this stream, which is a shame, but hopefully we'll see Sarah next stream. But she outdid herself in terms of donations last stream, and she kept me on for much longer. But hey, I am on this stream for about 16 minutes longer than I said I was going to be, so there's that. Anyway, Jess says, Gareth Edwards will probably give the dinosaurs less screen time, just like what he did with Godzilla. Yeah, maybe. So guys, thank you very much as always for the donations, for the support, and for showing up to these streams. I really appreciate it. Thank you to the Time Shadow. Thank you as well to all of you. Thank you as well to King of the Monsters 2021 for donating and commissioning more videos for me to make. I always love doing that, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much, everyone. I will see all of you next week. And Khan says, see you around and take care, Eric, to the next live stream we go. And Batman's Gamer just did a donation. Let's see. Oh, Batman's Gamer is answering a question I really want to know the answer to. He says, Streamlabs are somehow harder because putting my correct profile name and having to type out every single info on my debit card. Oh, is that why? And then you're saying, why ask for food? I don't know why they're asking for food. Is that the reason why? Is it because it's putting your card information in they want you to? Okay, I see why. Yeah, the only reason I always ask for super chats, well, Streamlabs chats, is because that way YouTube takes no cut. 100% of your donation goes to me. And especially if it's big donations, it's probably worth doing more that way. But I understand if it's putting in your card details or something that feels like an extra step you don't want to do. But I will say that Streamlabs is a very legitimate place, and it's a place where they're not only just a place, but they actually make their own live streaming software for Twitch and for YouTube and other services. So they are very official. But as much of you, if you can donate to Streamlabs, like say when we end this stream, if you're ready for Streamlabs next week, and that means that you'll be ready for it for all the streams, I would really appreciate that, because YouTube do sometimes take a bit more of a cut than they're supposed to, and this is probably the best way to where you can support me and no one else will take a cut from it. So that's why I wanted everyone to do it on Streamlabs, because it really does help, and it means that all your donation goes to me and YouTube doesn't take nothing. So that's why I always prefer if people could do that, and if you could, I would really appreciate that. That would be very, very kind and generous. You guys are already kind and generous, but that would be like an extra step, and it would be nice to know for yourselves as well that all your donation goes to me and none of it goes to YouTube. So that's the reason I say I prefer Streamlabs, and why I try to make it nice for you guys to go on Streamlabs. But anyway, that's enough from me. Thank you very much, everyone. Nice Batman's Gamer, thank you for giving me that feedback. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next week on another live stream. In the meantime, I'm going to work on my Beetlejuice versus video, my Puss in Boots 1 and 2 versus video, and also my Batman the Cape Crusader versus Batman the Animated Series Season 1 versus video. And the Beetlejuice versus video is going to be, of course, with Beetlejuice 1 versus Beetlejuice 2. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I'll catch all of you very, very soon. Take care.